could, I'd like to take a moment to offer my thoughts and prayers to the people of Haiti. In the wake of what's been a terrible disaster for one of the poorest nations in the Western Hemisphere, the Haitian people need the help of the United States and the world. As they continue to search for survivors and begin the process of putting the pieces back together, we should do what we can to make that unimaginable task a little bit easier. President Obama has vowed to do what it takes to save lives and to help them get back on their feet. And I'm so proud to see that millions of Americans have heard that call and have responded generously. I wish the rescue workers Godspeed, and I pray for their safety. I want to thank you all for coming out this morning to hear from the three of us. I'm thrilled to have the opportunity to tell you a little bit about myself and my reasons for running. But more importantly, I'm interested in hearing from you about what issues are important to you and what you want your representative in Washington to be focused on. I also want to thank Bob and Tom, Caesar, and the entire Dulles Area Democrats organization for hosting this event. I applaud your commitment to the Democratic community, and I appreciate the impact you're having on politics at every level. Thank you. My name is Richard Anthony, and I'm running to be the Democratic nominee for the United States Congress in the 10th District of Virginia. I come from a solid middle-class family. Growing up, we weren't rich, we weren't poor, we were just solidly middle class. When it came time to go to college, there was no college tuition fund, no education savings account. I had to pay for it myself. So I did what most people did and went out and got one job as a dishwasher, got another job as an usher at a local movie theater, got a whole bunch of student loans, and I got through college. I remember at the time, my father told me that I would appreciate my education more because I paid for it myself. Now, I remember at the time thinking that he was just feeding me a line of BS. But looking back, and it really pains me to say this, I think he was right. He was right about that and maybe a couple other things as well. I graduated with a degree in political science, and I went on to earn my master's in public administration and economic development. After I finished undergrad, I enlisted in the United States Army Reserves. Military service is something of a tradition in my family. My father had been a Marine. His father had been in the United States Army, and my mother's father had served in the Navy. As I served, I worked during the day, went to grad school in the evening, and got my degree. I've spent most of my career in the workforce development field. I started out by mentoring at-risk youth to help them obtain their GED and to learn job search skills. I went on to help the United States Department of Labor develop new technologies that enable community colleges across the nation build new high-impact jobs programs for business and industry at a lower cost and in less time. I've also been involved in starting a nonprofit company that created good-paying jobs with benefits right here in Virginia. So I guess you could say that my career, much like my campaign, was all about jobs. I chose to get into the race because I care very deeply about this community and the people who live in it. And I'm concerned that our current representative in Washington is not focused on the issues that are important to the people in the town, namely the economy and getting people back to work. This is a critical time in our nation's history. We need people in Washington who are interested in solving problems, not assigning blame. We need someone in Washington who's less concerned with their own political future and the future of their party, and more concerned with serving the people they represent. My campaign is committed to a single purpose: to bring economic security to working Americans here in the 10th and across the country. That's the same commitment that I will bring to Congress. We're in a deep economic crisis, unlike any other since the Great Depression. We're facing dire budget dire budget shortfalls at the local, state, and federal levels that have resulted in cuts to public safety, education, and transportation programs. We can't afford to waste another minute on partisan politics. We need new and creative ways to protect working Americans, especially older working people who have no real pensions to live on. And we need to create jobs, jobs for those people who have lost theirs and can't find a new one. Now, why jobs in the economy? What about healthcare? What about the environment? What about energy independence? My answer to that question is pretty simple. Where's the money to pay for them? You and I both know that everything begins and ends with jobs and the economy. Without a strong economy where everyone is participating, there simply aren't enough resources to go around. Everyone wants the best schools for their children, clean air to breathe, clean water to drink, affordable health care, and to break our dependence on foreign oil and develop new alternative forms of energy. Well, maybe not everybody. The question is, how are we going to pay for it? The question is, how are we going to pay for it? We've been piling up massive amounts of debt at the federal level, and the money available to states and local governments is in serious decline. The solution to what ails us as a country can't be solved by more and more debt. The solution begins with getting people back to work and helping small businesses succeed. The Bush administration, along with Republicans in Congress, like Frank Wolf, believed that we could cut taxes, fight 2 overseas wars, increase government spending, and the economy would just keep coming along. They were wrong. They were wrong, and people right here in Virginia, along with millions of Americans across the country, are paying the price for their bad judgment. And the cost has been high. An unemployment rate of 10%, a record budget deficit, soaring home foreclosures, and personal bankruptcies are the price that's being paid. All you have to do is look at the economic and employment data since the recession began, and it's obvious who's been hurt the most. Let me throw a couple numbers at you. Since the start of the recession, the number of unemployed Americans has risen by 7.6 million people to a total of 15.3 million. Let me say that again. 15.3